Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Thursday, October 17, 2024. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. Yeah, we didn't plan on doing this. Remember yesterday I said goodbye? I said, boys in the back, they just finished their show. They'd be here on Thursday. I'd be chilling in the back. But you know, it's our launch week. It's the debut of Uncrowned. It's a massive week. We've had a who's who. We've had champions. We've had legends. We've had pound for pound greats. We've had the absolute best of the best from not only the world of MMA, but boxing as well. And, you know, sometimes I read the comments. Sometimes I go deep into the archives when I want to amuse myself. And I saw someone who wrote in the Instagram comments, and they said, I can't believe you would have your first week and not have Poatan on. I can't believe you would have your first week and not have the 2024 Male Fighter of the Year on. Of course, we've already crowned him as such. I can't believe you would have your first week and not have the UFC's MVP on. I can't believe you would have your first week and not have the man who wowed the Salt Lake City crowd, better known, of course, as Salt Lake City. I can't believe you wouldn't have that guy on. The guy who delivered one of the great stoppages and fights of 2024 earlier this month. What a win, what a fight against Khalil Roundtree. And so we said, you know what, you're right. Let's do a special Thursday edition because here we're independent. We can do what we want. We say, hey, you want to turn on the lights on a Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern? We'll turn on the damn lights at 4 o'clock Eastern and do a special edition. Why? Because we missed doing the show. Why? Because the haters are out. Why? Because they're just foaming at the mouth. They're just waiting for us to say something. And so we are here to deliver for not only the haters, of course, but for our fans as well. The boys in the back did a great show. That is up right now on the YouTube channel. We ended the show with some breaking news pertaining to the bantamweight division. I have an update on said news. We'll get to that back end of this special 1-hour edition of the AH show. I am also going to read all the super chat questions that I didn't get to yesterday because I missed them. I messed up. So you're all going to get your questions read and answered on the back end of today's program. But in a matter of seconds, my friends, we are going to be joined by this man, the man who joined us May 31st at NJPAC in Newark, New Jersey.
Chama!
Yeah, that guy. We did the boom, and I did this. Remember that, Frank? I almost blew your ears out because we went like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went, ah! We did that. Remember that? What a time it was. What a time. Sold out crowd, by the way. 430 some odd individuals were just lapping it up. It was a grand old time. And so, yes, in a matter of moments, we'll be joined by Alex Pereira. And, you know, I did tell you just a couple of weeks ago in one of our Part in the Dust episodes, I told you guys that, yeah, we're going to do an award show beginning of the year. We've been doing it for what, like 13 straight years, something crazy like that. We're going to do it. Don't worry. And usually we end the award show with Male Fighter of the Year. It's kind of like the culmination of it all. Usually we do that. And this time, I'm telling you right now, there is absolutely no surprises. There's no mystery. There's nothing to save for January because we already know it's fait accompli. I don't care what happens in Abu Dhabi. With all due respect to Max Holloway, with all due respect to Ilia Topuria, the Male Fighter of the Year for 2024 is Poatan, is Alex Pereira. The MVP, the MVF of 2024 for not just the UFC, but the entire sport is Alex Pereira. And he is kind enough to join us right now, live here on the program. There he is, our good friend Alex Pereira, here courtesy of our good friends over at Stake. And there's El Jefe himself, Plinio Cruz, joining us.
Chama.
Yes, joining us as well. Plinio, where are you right now? Are you in your Lamborghini? What is that? Your Bugatti?
No, I'm actually in front of my new gym that I'm supposed to be opening like in a week or two. we're just moving, doing some stuff here.
Okay, well, congratulations on
I'm
that.
in Jersey, Nutley.
I love it. Nutley, New Jersey. I know it very well. Congratulations on that. And Alex, parabéns to you. Congratulations on the win just a couple of weeks ago. Thank you. Obrigado. Thank you for joining us here on the show.
Thank you, my brother. I happy, very happy.
It's good to see.
Nice shirt.
Yes, nice shirt for Alex, huh?
Camisa tá bonita, viu, Bota? Nice
Pô.
shirt.
Tá numa reunião, no almoço, né? Reunião. Então tem que ir bem vestido, né? Depois da luta aí, né? Muitas coisas acontecendo.
He had to dress up nice. He had a nice meeting at lunch after the fight. Very many good things happening.
Okay, so can we start with that? What are we talking about? What good things are happening to you since the win in Salt Lake City?
Bom, vamos começar com isso então. Quais coisas boas que já estão acontecendo com você depois de sua vitória em Salt Lake City?
Pô, depois dessa vitória, né? Que foi o que, pô, todo mundo esperava, o que eu esperava, né? Pô, muito ansioso aí por essa vitória e graças a Deus tudo aconteceu da forma que a gente planejou. Então muitas coisas a gente sabe, né? Que você está aparecendo, está em evidência, muitas empresas, né? Para patrocinar, então tá procurando e estou muito feliz com tudo isso.
Well, after a fight like that, as we expected, right, having all this attention, many business looking for sponsorship, for business, for other inquiries, and a lot of good things happening his way because of that.
You revealed, Alex, after the win that you were battling all kinds of issues, some health, some non-health related. You talked about feeling sick, your throat, antibiotics, your ribs, your toe. How are you feeling now? About 2 weeks later, how is the body feeling after the fight in Utah?
Pô, falando do jeito que você se sente, né? Você revelou que você teve vários problemas para essa luta, a garganta, a costela, né? O pé. Como é que você se sente agora, já que passou essa luta, sua saúde? Está legal?
Não, eu tô bem, né? Na costela é o que incomodava mais, mas eu não tô treinando, né? Tô descansando, então para dormir incomoda um pouco, né? Para quem já machucou a costela sabe como que é, mas de resto mesmo o dedo, pô, eu não tô forçando ali, não tô tracionando, então não tem muito incômodo, né? Eu parado. Treinando, com certeza eu vou sentir na hora.
Well, right now he's fine because he's not training. He's just resting up, just healing. Ribs still bothering a little bit because it was almost like a crack. So, but toes not feeling right now because there's no traction, there's no movement. So for now, he's just resting up and healing, so he's fine.
Obviously, you talked about the visa and having to go to the consulate, and you were waiting to see if you could come to the states. You injured your ribs, your toe was still hurting, you weren't feeling well. Did it ever get too much to the point? And I know it's kind of a crazy question to ask you, Alex, because you always show up no matter what. Did it ever get to the point where you thought maybe you wouldn't fight against Khalil Rountree in Utah?
Pô, são várias coisas que a gente ficou sabendo que você mencionou, foi do seu visto demorar, depois a costela, depois a garganta, depois o pé. Chegou a um ponto da gente pensar e falar assim, pô, acho que isso aqui já é demais, vamos ter que dar uma adiada nessa luta.
Desde o início eu achei que não ia dar para mim lutar, eu lutei de teimoso mesmo. Eu geralmente aí treino intenso, são de 6 semanas, mas para essa luta eu ia fazer assim intensidade de 5 semanas, porque eu estava no Brasil. Então, eu estava no problema do visto ali, no processo de visto, e, pô, faltava exatamente um mês, eu não tinha recebido o meu visto ainda, né, então eu fiz até uns vídeos, como eu me sentia, como eu mostrei, se olhar para mim, para as imagens, você vai ver que eu não estou bem, entendeu? Eu tenho esses vídeos guardados, eu vou soltar eles ainda, para vocês verem a situação que eu estava ruim. E, pô, quando eu consegui viajar para os Estados Unidos, foi com 30 dias aí antecedente da luta. E aí mesmo conversei com o Globo, falei com o Plínio, eu falei, cara, eu não sei, eu acho que eu não consigo lutar, mas eu não quero dar a resposta agora pro UFC, mas eu quero que ele esteja ciente que eles já têm que ficar esperto que talvez eu não lute, né? Então a gente fez todo o processo aí que a gente já tinha planejado, de 3 semanas antes de passar o Salt Lake City, né? Então eu treinei 1 semana em Contender e fui para lá. E, pô, antes no Brasil eu já tinha tomado já antibiótico por 5 dias. Depois de eu estar 1 semana em Salt Lake City, tomei mais 5 dias de antibiótico. E até ali eu falei, cara, eu só vou falar no último dia, já que a organização já sabe Então não vou me queimar, não vou ter problema. Eu posso falar, tipo, um dia antes da luta, tava com isso em mente, mas eu não queria sair da luta.
Well, in Brazil, it happened that usually a perfect camp for us is about 6 weeks, right? Because he maintained himself in shape. But because of the visa issues and everything, because they took too long to release his visa, his passports. So he came to America. He was already messed up in Brazil. He got throat infection over there and got the ribs hurt. So he already came to America here back from Brazil on an ideal scenario because he got here 5 weeks before the fight, 4.5 weeks. Then he got here, he started training. We have footage that we're going to release. He's going to release of him training. Doesn't look well. You guys going to see it was really bad. And then he came to me and Glover and he said, guys, look, I don't know if I can do this fight like this. And we told him, say, bro, whatever you want, But at the same time, that he did not want to decide right there. He wanted to push through a little bit. In Brazil, they gave him a week round of antibiotics. And, that messed up your cardio and everything. So he got here. We decided to move on with the team to Salt Lake City. We got there. Stuff was still bad. And the week prior to fight week, he had to do another round of antibiotics for a week, 5 days. And they still messed him up to the point that, we called the UFC and said, I don't think we're going to be able to fight. But he decided to just push through and, you know what I mean? Because he's stubborn enough to do that. And thank God everything was fine.
Incredible. That's why he's the MVP of the UFC. And everyone, when we heard this, Alex, we were thinking, how did you do it? How did you do it again? How do you keep doing it on short notice? How do you keep beating these guys, knocking them out, stopping them? How are you taking their best shots and just moving forward? And then, Alex, a video emerges online just a couple of days ago of you in the presence of the great sensei Steven Seagal, him teaching you his biggest technique, his greatest technique, his great mysteries. And that's when I realized that's why. This is the answer, right? This is the answer why you're doing so well. Is it because of the stuff that Sensei Seagal has taught you? Have you used those techniques in the fight and that's why you're so successful?
Primeiro ele falou, por isso que você é o cara mais importante, deve ser o maior lutador que tem hoje, porque você luta nessas condições que ninguém quer lutar, né? Você é um cara que tem essa coragem. E de todo o seu treino e tal, ele falou assim, tá brincando, né? Falou assim, aí que eu percebi, eu vi você com o Steven Seagal, eu falei, aí ele falou, agora eu entendi porque o Alex ganhou, porque foi todas as técnicas que o Seagal te ensinou, toda aquela mágica das técnicas dele que fez você ganhar.
Claro que não é tudo. Muitas pessoas falam do Steven Seagal, né? Não dá muita credibilidade para ele, porque ele é mais um ator e tal, mas é um cara que entende muito, sabe? Você vê ali aqueles frontal que eu coloquei, a gente treinou bem. Eu já faço isso já, entendeu? Mas cada um tem uma técnica diferente. E a gente vai lapidando ali, pegando, né, algo de bom que a outra pessoa tem, e eu vou fazendo isso. Muitas pessoas falam aí, né, o cara não sabe de nada e tal. O cara tem que ser respeitado e, respeito muito. Então, a gente tirou um dia lá de treino, ele teve toda a dedicação ali para estar ensinando tudo que ele sabe e a gente vai absorvendo o que a gente acha que é bom pra gente.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people talk about a crap about Steven Seagal, but I have a lot of respect for him. He's a great guy. You know what I mean? Of course, I did my push kicks and my stuff before that, but everybody have a different way to do some techniques, and you got to take a little bit from everybody to make your own. So it was helpful. We trained with him for that day, and he's a very nice guy. He's a seasoned guy. Many guys say, like I say, that he's not this, he's not that, but he's a real guy, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Love it. Love it. I also love a video that I saw afterwards of Israel Adesanya, your old friend, watching you and reacting with such admiration for you and love for you. It seems like you two are in a very good place, that there's no bad feelings, bad vibes, only respect, and he speaks very glowingly of you. Did you see this video of him watching your fight and see how happy he was for you? And if so, what is your reaction to that?
Outra coisa legal que ele viu foi a reação do Israel Adesanya, né? Vendo a sua luta, torcendo pra você, querendo que você ganhasse, assim, sabe? De um jeito bem bacana, assim. O que você acha de tudo isso aí?
Eu acho muito legal e muito importante, né? Para a relação no meio do esporte, para as pessoas verem que não tem nenhuma maldade. A gente tem aquela rivalidade, né? Quando vai lutar, mas, acho que quando acaba a luta, acho que tem que acabar tudo, entendeu? As pessoas às vezes estão no mesmo ambiente Eu acho que não tem que ficar com um clima pesado, né? Então, eu venho fazendo as coisas da forma certa e também, com certeza, faria o mesmo que ele fez, né? O que ele falou ali, né? De, pô, eu vou ser o único a ganhar desse cara e tal. Isso é crédito para ele também. Eu acho que ele tem que torcer para mim. Eu faria o mesmo. Pô, eu iria pensar da mesma forma. Pô, só eu vou ganhar desse cara, velho. Ninguém mais vai ganhar. Então, eu vou me sentir melhor com isso como competidor.
No, I think it was a real nice thing that he did. I have a lot of respect in the fact that the rivalry stayed in the ring. You know what I mean? We're waving that off. And I like the way that he said that, you know what I mean? Like cheering for me and like saying that, you know what I mean? He's the only guy that ever beat me. On his place, I would have done the same. I want to be the only guy that beat somebody, you know? So I think it was very nice, and I liked that a lot.
On the flip side of that, we have, of course, Jamal Hill, who was seen yawning cage side. And I know you said what you said at the post-fight press conference, and it was a great response. Well done in the moment. Since then, he has done interviews. He just spoke to Sportskeeda, and he said that he was not impressed, that he thought that you should have beaten Khalil a lot easier, and that this isn't something that he thinks was overly impressive, your performance. Can I ask you to further expand on your thoughts on how he has been behaving, the behavior cage side with the yawning, and then his comments about your performance afterwards?
Pô, e do outro lado, né, o Jamal Hill, né, bocejando, com sono, desfazendo a sua luta, e fez uma entrevista, ele falou que não estava impressionado e que você deveria ter batido no Khalil, ganhado do Khalil muito mais rápido que aquilo, né? Tipo, de desmerecendo, né? O que você diz sobre esses comentários dele, dessa atitude dele?
Bom, o que eu só tenho para falar é que se aquela luta com o Khalil, tipo, foi uma merda, a minha luta com ele, qual a colocação que ele dá para isso? Se a do Khalil foi uma merda, a dele qual que seria? E do Jamal, só vou responder isso, né? Vou parar por aqui, respeito, né, a entrevista, né? Mas eu acho que eu estou em outro patamar agora, eu nem deveria mencionar aqui o Jamal, entendeu? Mas eu entendo, tem que fazer as perguntas.
I'm gonna be real honest with you, Ariel. If that performance with Khalil was shit, where does Jamal rank the performance from Alex against him then? So, you know what I mean? If that fight was crap, so imagine the fight that, you know what I mean? How can he say that? But I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to further talk about Jamal. I have a lot of respect for your show, but Alex say he's at a different level.
Fair enough. Could I ask you about a post that you put on your Instagram right after the fight, the next day, and the caption was, "This is one of my favorite moments before a fight." In Portuguese, I believe it was, "Esse é dos momentos que eu mais gosto antes de uma luta." Close, mais ou menos.
Very good Portuguese. I like that.
It was a picture.
Bom, Potan. Chama, Potan.
Chama, pô.
Chama ou chama? Chama ou não chama? It was a picture of Tom Aspinall looking at you before, I think, 2 fights ago. Why did you post that? Why is this one of your favorite moments?
Ele perguntou que você fez esse post aí, tá com a foto do Tom Aspinall, né? Por que são os seus momentos favoritos antes da luta?
Bom, ali respeito, né, ao Aspinall, né? Pô, o cara tá vindo aí fazendo o trabalho dele, eu tô fazendo o meu trabalho, né? Mas eu postei ali que ele tinha postado a foto, aí eu postei, todo mundo sabe, se eu falar aqui, não, eu postei pra... Pô, todo mundo sabe ali que é pra dar uma espetada ali, né? Uma cutucada, pra dar um barulho na rede social, né? Mas, pô, eu tô muito feliz aí com tudo que a gente conversou, com a organização, né? Eu não posso falar nada aqui agora, mas em breve a gente vai estar falando sobre isso.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Tom Aspinall. I respect him. I just did that just to shake the internet a little bit. I cannot say that was for nothing because everybody saw it. You can tell that was joking around, right? A little bit of trolling. But long story short, I had a great conversation with the organization. I'm very happy with my future in the organization, and soon we'll be able to get you guys updated about it.
Okay. I said after the fight, Alex, out of love and respect for you, because you fought in April, in June, in October, you talked about your body not feeling great. You know, it's been a long career in kickboxing, now MMA, you're 37. I said, if someone out there loves you, they would say, let's take the rest of the year off, obviously, and the first half of 2025. We come back maybe June, July. We come back rested. We don't need to put our body through all this, this torture. And everyone got mad at me. Everyone said, no, how dare you? We need more of Alex. We need more and more and more. And of course, I want to see you fight every weekend, but just thinking about your well-being. What do you think of this thought for me? Is this crazy? Are you going to come back before June, July and keep this active schedule up?
Bom, você fez essas 3 lutas esse ano, né, mano? E você foi um cara muito ativo. Você acabou de virar pra fez 37 agora. Isso aí, pô, dá uma batida no corpo, né? E ele falou assim, pô, falei pra galera que eu gostaria eu acho que o Poatan devia descansar, merece um descanso e voltar talvez lá pra junho, julho do ano que vem, dar um break, né? E falou que todo mundo, não, que é isso, a gente quer ver o Poatan lutar logo e tal. O que você acha desse pensamento dele para você dar uma descansada e voltar pro meio do ano, ou você quer voltar antes?
Não, isso seria o certo, mas eu não acho que eu gostaria de lutar lá para março, eu não sei. Eu não sei. Bom, por mim eu lutava até em dezembro. Por mim eu lutava até em dezembro. É porque a gente teve essas 2 últimas lutas, né? Que a gente tinha uns compromissos, mas aí a gente, pô, deixou um pouco ali, conversamos, né? Com o pessoal que estava organizando as nossas viagens. Mas eles entenderam, né? Então a gente fez essas lutas agora, as últimas 2 lutas, e agora a gente tem uns compromissos, né, de viagens agora. Mas, pô, se não fossem essas viagens aí, cara, eu lutaria em dezembro já, entendeu? Pô, eu quero lutar, entendeu? Mas pensando bem assim, pô, descansar um pouquinho, lutar lá pra março, eu acho que é um bom tempo.
Ideally, he'll fight around, like you say, June. It would be ideal, but he maybe like to fight around March even. But honestly, say if it was up to him, he'll fight in December right now. But the problem is, before these 2 fights happened too soon, and we had a lot of appearances, a lot of trips, a lot of business to do, and we had to push them for after these 2 fights because they were scheduled for before. The guys who organized, they understood, but like we have some obligations to do, so he feel that around March is a good date.
If it was up to you, Alex, who would be your next opponent? If it was totally your call.
Alex, se fosse no seu controle, você escolhesse, quem seria seu próximo adversário?
Meu próximo adversário? Pô, de verdade mesmo, eu não faço nem ideia. Pra você ver, o Khalil que ninguém imaginava, entendeu? Eu não tenho ideia, cara. Todo mundo fala aí do Kalaev, né? Mas eu também não sei não. Falou muita bosta aí no Instagram, na rede social, entendeu? Falando que eu tô correndo, que isso e aquilo, ele é o empresário dele ali. Todo mundo sabendo que ninguém tem interesse de ver ele lutar, entendeu? E aí ele joga tudo isso, né? Pra cima de mim, a responsabilidade pra cima de mim. Eu achei uma sacanagem, né, que eles fizeram, eles sabendo que ninguém quer ver eles lutar. E aí, cara, eu não sei não. Se eu puder, não é com medo não tenho medo de ninguém não, mas se eu puder agora atrapalhar o caminho dele, eu vou fazer isso.
I'm gonna be honest, man, I don't have nobody in my mind. The organization came with Khalil last time, and was a surprise for me too. I don't really choose opponents. Some people say Ankalaev, but I'm gonna be honest with you, him and his manager been talking a lot of crap, saying that Alex don't want to fight this and that, but the reality is the organization don't want him to fight because he's boring. People don't like to watch him fight, right? He's not the guy that sells pay-per-view. So honestly, like, that's disrespectful. They try to put the ball on me, like I'm saying, like if I'm Alex, right? If putting the ball on me, because it's not up to me, it's up to the organization. The organization don't want to make the fight. But now because they keep saying that, keep disrespecting, maybe I'll make a little bit even harder for them to fight me.
Fair enough. Could I ask you this? What is more likely, a move to heavyweight or a move back to middleweight? I ask this because of the Aspinall post, but also I remember after DDP won, after he beat Izzy, you took a picture standing in front of the TV insinuating perhaps that you would go back down to 185. So what is more likely to happen next? Not necessarily the next fight, but first, if you will. A move up to heavyweight finally, or a move back down to middleweight to fight the champion there?
Se você pudesse escolher o que está mais perto, você subir pro pesado ou descer pro médio? Você fez aquele post na frente da TV com o Drix Duplessis, depois falou do peso pesado. O que está mais perto pra gente aí?
Não, com certeza peso pesado, né? Até para descer, lógico, todo mundo sabe que não é uma coisa fácil, né? Eu vi, né, com esse corte de peso que eu fiz, pô, eu vi que eu consigo descer, não com facilidade, mas eu acho que bem melhor do que das últimas vezes, né? Pro peso pesado, eu acho que eu tô bem, né? Eu não sou um cara tão pesado, mas eu acho que a minha vantagem de lutar com o peso que eu estou agora, no peso pesado, a vantagem ela é maior do que se eu ter esse corte de peso pro médio, né? Eu acho que eu tô mais forte. Eu falo, pô, mas é peso pesado, os caras é muito forte, mas eu acho que vou dar mais forte do que se eu descer. Mas, como eu falei também, o Chance tá aí, pô, tá na vez dele, né? Deixa ele ser feliz e, pô, vamos ver o que acontece.
No Strickland, né?
É.
Okay. Honestly, I think I'm closer to heavyweight than middleweights. Maybe my last weight cut was not hard, but honestly, like think I'm closer to a heavyweight than a middleweight because for me to go up the way that I feel strong, I'm still in the same weight as always, but I think I'll have a better performance. I feel good than having to make the weight cut for middleweight. And plus, it's Sean Strickland's time. Let him have his chance.
You know, we saw you at Contender Series. You were there right after your fight to see your old foe, Artem Vakitov, and Dana White said that you were instrumental in getting him signed to the UFC. You fought twice in kickboxing, great fights, and he's kind of, in some respects, you're the Izzy to his Alex, if you get what I'm saying. In any event, I'm just wondering, why did you want to be there to watch his Contender Series fight, and B, how badly would you like to fight him in the UFC?
Bom, e agora também você teve lá no Contender Series, dá pra ver o Vakitov lutar, né? Seu ex-rival. E tem gente que até fala que você, para ele, é como se fosse o Adesanya para você no começo, né? O Dana White falou que você foi instrumental na participação para poder ter contratado ele. E por que você quis dar essa ajuda e participar e estar lá presente?
Na verdade, eu tava fazendo um trabalho, né? Que a gente ia pro, pro evento que a Monster estava participando, então a gente tinha que estar lá, a gente estava do lado e eu gosto de estar no evento, eu gosto de assistir. Então, pô, eu e meu empresário tava ali, o Ed, e a gente falou, pô, vamos encostar lá. A gente foi pra lá e a gente chegou, acho que tava 3 lutas, e a gente assistiu as lutas, a última era do Mactov. E, pô, foi isso.
No, I went there already because I had to go to Las Vegas for an event for Monster Energy. Me and my manager, Ed Suarez, and Ed said, let's go to the Contender Series. We got there, was halfway through the card. We just watched the fights, that's it.
Would you like to fight him in the UFC?
Você gostaria de lutar com ele no UFC?
Não, eu luto com qualquer atleta, pra mim não tem essa. Dificilmente ele, pô, não vai chegar assim, agora de cara, tipo, assim, não é que eu não quero, igual na época da Adesanya, eu falei assim, se realmente ele quer provar algo, ele, né, já aceita eu de cara. Tipo, eu dei essa entrevista, né? Mas com o Magdov é totalmente diferente, entendeu? Não tem uma história assim que nem o Adesanya. Eu nunca fiquei provocando o Magdov, ele nunca tinha ficado me provocando, então o negócio tava morto. Aí ele chegou, como vai colocar direto? Agora se tivesse já essa rivalidade, pô, e tal, pô, qualquer hora podia colocar, entendeu? Mas agora não faz sentido. Você sabe que, pô, o UFC não é só colocar as lutas assim, aleatórias, entendeu? Tem que casar, tem que vender e por que vai vender essa luta? Ninguém tá sabendo o que tá acontecendo. Parecendo, cara, foi muito tempo, entendeu? Fazendo isso.
I don't know if I'll get to fight him because honestly, like you still have some ways to go, and I don't know how long I have in the UFC. But also, our rivalry was much different than my rivalry with Israel Adesanya. We never got to really trash talk each other or anything like that. When I signed with the UFC, and I had a history with Adesanya, right? Everybody knew it was something that was already there, and I told them, I said, if Adesanya really want to do this, we can do it. But it's different with Akitov because there's not a really big rivalry over there, not things that people really know. And the UFC, in the format of a league that they are, is not, you don't just bypass and jump over there. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. Have you started to think you want to fight till 40 or you want to fight 3 more fights? Are you starting to think that way? And do you have a number in mind?
Já começou a pensar se você vai lutar até os 40? Você tem mais 1 ou 2 lutas? O que você tem em mente?
Não sei não, cara. Não dá pra saber não. Verdade, dá pra programar. Eu quero lutar. Mas eu não sei não, igual do peso médio. Eu falei, quando meu corpo fala me avisar, eu vou subir. E quando meu corpo avisar, eu vou parar. Mas eu ainda estou bem.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know, to be honest. And just like when I was a middleweight, I say when my body tells me I'll go up. Same for this. When I'm gonna listen to my body so far didn't tell me. When my body tells me I'll stop.
Okay, just a couple more. Anthony Joshua recently said he would like to see you box. And then you asked him, okay, I don't have a lot of time. Who would you like to see me box? Well, I'm sure you know this. Jake Paul continues to say that he would like to box you. He would like to fight you in a boxing match. When you hear this, what is your reaction? And are you at all interested in pursuing this?
O Anthony Joshua falou que gostaria de você boxear. E você escreveu, né, com quem gostaria de me ver boxear. Pô, o Jake Paul continua falando, né, que quer lutar com você e tal. O que você acha disso aí, se é uma coisa que te interessa?
Ah, até me interessa, sim, mas, pô, todo mundo sabe que tem contrato com o UFC, então, como que faz isso, né? Eu acho que, pô, ele também tá vendo, né, o meu nome e como que as pessoas estão falando de mim, e eu acho que ele sabe que é uma coisa muito difícil e tá falando. Talvez se o UFC fosse um evento, assim, que deixasse o atleta livre, né, e pudesse lutar em qualquer modalidade, eu não sei se ele estaria falando assim dessa forma, não sei.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It's of course something that interests me, but he knows that I'm on a contract to the UFC and I cannot just leave. I think that's why he calls and he says all that. Because I think if the UFC was a league that allows everybody to fight anywhere, I don't think he'll be saying that.
Your sister just won, looked incredible in karate combat. How far away, in your opinion, do you think she is from the UFC? Would you like to see her fight in the UFC next?
Sua irmã acabou de lutar, né? Fez uma luta maravilhosa. E quão longe você acha que ela está do UFC? E se você gostaria de ver ela lutar no UFC logo?
Eu acho que ela não está muito longe, está fazendo um trabalho excelente, né? Essa última luta aí dela mostrou aí, né, muita coisa, né, sobre ela. Eu acho que, lógico, ela não tem um recorde assim bom para o UFC, né? Mas tem essa luta aí, as pessoas conseguem ver um pouco do trabalho dela. E eu acho que é uma questão de oportunidade aí, todo mundo sabe.
We still see you.
Estamos te ouvindo.
Oh, did we lose him?
We did, but we'll get him right back.
Is Plinio there?
I'm here, champ.
Okay. I think he's just we just have 2 minutes left. I think he's going to log back in. By the way, Plinio, can I ask you, Alex versus Jake Paul, how does that fight go while we're getting him back?
Is that a real question or like a metaverse fight?
And I let's just say if they fight, what do you think?
Brother, it's a different level, right? If you ask me Alex against even maybe the heavyweight champion of the world of box, I think I'll say Alex. So that already says enough. I think it's a big pill for Jake Paul to swallow.
Fair enough. And we're waiting to get Alex back. He's not back yet, is he?
He's not back yet.
Okay. And by the way, can I ask you what was he saying there about his sister before he cut out?
So he was saying basically that her performance speaks for itself. She don't have yet a UFC caliber MMA record, but it's all about the opportunity the organization want to do. I think she's up there on that level, and I think it'd be great to see her there.
How far away do you think she is from your perspective?
Maybe a couple fights. I hope so, We would like to see Aline Pereira in the UFC next year. We're working on that.
Does she train with you guys in America?
Yeah, she moved to America. She's been here for, I think, 2 years now. She be training on a daily basis with everybody here, and she's like a female version of Poitin, bro. You guys can see the hands, the technique, the amount of power that she can generate. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be very fun to see her in the UFC.
I got a little worried, Plinio, I have to say, before the fight. I saw you guys doing the thing with the garbage bags, looking at the garbage ladies, and I was like, "What's happening here? Are we focused? Are we having too much fun?" I saw the comments; they were saying the same thing. Tell us why you guys did that. You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys in the garbage bags?
Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah. That's why we win things, because you know what I mean? Some guys go to a fight night like looking like they're going to a funeral. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have fun. You know what I mean? We get our ass kicked on a daily basis. So Alex is a troll, bro. He came to me and said, "Bro, let's make this video." And I say, "Okay." He's the one who came with the whole idea, and then there was these trash cans across the street from the gym, and then we just put stuff together. I think the video got over 40 million views on his Instagram or something like that. The stuff is going crazy. He's a troll, bro. He loves to have fun like that.
It's incredible. Okay, can I ask Alex one last question? I think we have him back.
Tá ouvindo, Potan?
Oh, there he...
Ele perguntou da Aline já, aí eu traduzi o que você respondeu. Aí ele perguntou da lata do lixo até, eu expliquei para ele. Ele tem mais uma pergunta para você.
Não, só terminar só da minha irmã.
Okay, let me just finish that thing about his sister.
Please.
Eu acho que ela tá perto, né? Eu acho que a gente vai usar tudo isso também. Pô, quem que não quer ver ali, né? Pô, a irmã do Alex, a irmã do campeão. Pô, eu acho que é uma coisa também que vai vender muito, mas não só por ser a minha irmã, entendeu? Isso ajuda, mas é óbvio que olha o trabalho que ela fez, olha o nocaute que ela fez. Então as pessoas às vezes querem ver ali ela lutando, às vezes até duvidando, fala, pô, eu quero ver onde vai chegar. Foi o que aconteceu comigo. Então, claro, a gente tem que dar continuidade no trabalho, focar aí na próxima luta, e com certeza tudo dando certo aqui fora, o caminho para ela também vai ser um pouquinho mais curto.
Well, like he said, everybody wants to see Alex sister in the UFC, right? Everybody would like to see the champ sister performing there. But also props to her work. She's been doing a very good job. You know what I mean? She did a great fight. And everything, of course, you got to follow the protocol. We're going to see what happens on her next fight. But we think she, due to her talent and everything else, is going to be a faster process, same as was with Potan.
Last thing for you, Alex. Your story is one of the best of the last few years. We remember the photo of you at the tire shop. We've heard about the things that you've had to overcome. Now I think you can make a very strong case among active fighters. You are the face of the UFC. Like I said, the fighter of the year, the MVP, all that. You are so popular. People are emulating you. I see your social media. It has exploded. How are you dealing with all of this? This incredible explosion of fame. How are you dealing with it? Do you like it? Do you like getting noticed? Do you like all the attention, the love? And at times, does it feel almost overwhelming?
Bom, hoje, né, devido a vocês, tudo que você está fazendo e também ser um lutador muito ativo, posso dizer que você é a cara do UFC, né? A gente até fala no MVP, que é o lutador mais valioso, né? E como é que você está lidando com toda essa atenção e tudo isso está acontecendo em termos de fama até em cima de você? É legal? Como é que é?
Não, com certeza é legal, né? É claro que às vezes a gente não tem totalmente o controle, né? Pô, mas eu tô, no geral, eu tô muito feliz com tudo que vem acontecendo, né? Todo o trabalho que eu fiz desde quando eu assinei com o UFC, né? Eu sabia que ia ser difícil, né? E foi difícil, né? Esses dias agora atrás eu estava até pensando tudo, de algumas entrevistas, né, de até as pessoas falando do Vakhtov, né, pô, se fizer o caminho que fizeram com o Poatan e tal, mas, pô, minha primeira luta foi com o Mihailidze, um cara, pô, que era campeão, não sei o que, de grappling, isso e aquilo, pô, o cara, e na época que eu fui lutar, todo mundo falou, não, esse cara que o Alex vai pegar é o cara, entendeu? Aí depois que eu ganhei, já não deram crédito pro cara, falou que era um cara fácil, que isso e aquilo, então as pessoas foram duvidando, né? Então, assim, com toda essa história aí, né, a gente começa a relembrar e tudo mais, e a gente vê onde a gente chegou, cara, é uma grande satisfação, assim, é imenso e, pô, tô muito feliz.
Man, obviously, you know what I mean, is very nice. You know what I mean, was not easy since the moment that I signed with the UFC. I know it was going to be a hard road. For example, my first fight, I fought Andreas Mihalidis, multiple times champion in grappling. Then many people keep doubting me. And then, you know what I mean, just like, oh, but what's next? And then he kept making it happen. But all this attention, he knew it was not going to be easy to get where he got, but he's super happy with everything that happens.
Parabéns, like I say. Parabéns, or like you say, Chama, my friend, you know we have our new set here, guys, but you're with us. You see us right here? You're still with us.
Aqui é um novo estúdio, Potan, mas ele tá com eles lá ainda, ó.
Chama!
There it is. And we'd love to have you both, when you can, come visit us in our studio in New York City. It's always a pleasure to talk to both of you. Congratulations on the win. Congratulations on everything. And thank you very much to Steak, as you can see behind Alex, for setting this up. We appreciate them very, very much. Obrigado.
O Potan, ele falou muito obrigado. Espero quando vocês puderem vir visitar o estúdio novo aí. Muito obrigado por tudo que você está fazendo. Obrigado a Steak por estar fazendo isso aí acontecer. Obrigado.
Chama.
Chama, guys.
Chama.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Chama.
There they are. Plinio and Alex, what a duo. I used to always say Eduardo Alonso and Shogun were my favorite duo in MMA, like peanut butter and jelly, but those two are climbing up the ranks, and you have to include Glover. You know, I haven't thought about Coach of the Year just yet, but Plinio and Glover, there was once a time New York Rick and I gave the Coaches of the Year award to Mark Henry and Ricardo Almeida back in the day. I feel like we might be moving in the direction of another, co-coach of the year situation. So there you have it on a special Thursday edition of the program. Don't go anywhere, though. I do have an update on the bantamweight division. We'll answer some questions, and then we'll say goodbye. And there's still plenty more to come. This is how we do it here. This is how we do it. All hands are in the air and wave them from here to there. Sing with me, Frank. If you know G-Mac and you want to be player. Now I have a whole new perspective on what goes on back there.
You saw how I just kind of
Oh my
sit on
God!
my ass the whole
you're,
time.
you're cracking the whip. Jordan's yelling F-bombs left and right. Andy's freaking yelling. I mean, it's a pressure cooker back there.
And then I just come on air and I'm like, hey, what's up, Ariel?
Yeah, and you're so calm under pressure.
This is what I literally described in the show. Boys in the back. I said he's so pleasant while equal, like you can read the stress all over
it's
his
amazing.
face, but he's also so respectful and pleasant still. It's a true skill.
I actually like I like the question asking voice from Frank.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
All right.
If you know the name
Connor
of
had
the
just
movie you'd like to see.
harsher.
How many people do you think are tuning in right now for the great Alex Pereira, light heavyweight champion of the world, that didn't watch Boys in the Back earlier and are like, why the fuck is this guy in a tuxedo?
No, I think
Who the
they're
fuck
just.
is
Well,
we?
I think a lot of them did. A and B. Alex Pereira deserves a tuxedo.
Yeah, I was gonna say you show up for a for an interview with the champ. You wear a tuxedo.
I think he deserves that Plinio Coach of the Year shirt. That's what he really deserves.
Oh yeah.
Got mine at home. I should have worn it.
Yeah,
should have had it ready to go.
What a legend those two are. If you guys had to predict right now, who's he fighting next and when?
John Bones
I
Jones, baby.
think I still stick by the
Ankalaev,
Ankalaev in May in Brazil.
John Bones Jones.
Not Jake Paul.
No, not Jake Paul.
Chat loved that one.
They did. I bet they did.
Yeah, huge
I feel like people forgot about that one. But great stuff there. They are fun. They did that skit. The dancing before the fights have become a very special part of the Alex Pereira experience. And this is great. Most importantly, just getting to do these one-offs whenever we want. We can just turn on the lights here and just do it, right? No big deal. Doesn't take anything. We're working through the kinks.
Yeah,
Just 3 minutes.
Something
3
like
minutes
that.
of prep.
Not
like that.
anything at all.
Thumbs up
Thumbs
to
up
the
in the
chat.
chat.
Thumbs up to the chat. Thumbs up to the chat. Great job, by the way, by Antoine Evans, who has been leading the charge on YouTube for us. The man himself.
You can't spell goat without an A and T.
That's true. That's a good point.
Wait, actually, but
Big Frank, everybody.
I'll be here all night from the looks of things.
That's a good one. You want to say something, Rick? You
I
just said actually?
that's not correct. The spelling.
Oh, got it.
It was a pun, A and T, but I called it A and T. You know what? And appreciates it, I'm sure.
He does. He does appreciate a good pun. Ann told me that we missed out on some of our super chat questions. We
Okay.
appreciate everyone in the chat. Thumbs up to the chat. Thumbs up to the chat. And so I will get to those in a moment. But first, at the very end of the Boys in the Back show, and let me see if there's an update here. No, but because there's a couple of interesting things. Okay, number one, very end of Boys in the Back, I told you about a report from Red Corner MMA reporting that on December 14th in Tampa, and hope everyone in Tampa is getting back on their feet. Some scary scenes over the last couple of weeks there. That the main event for that fight night card, remember the last pay-per-view of 2024 is going to be December 7th, T-Mobile. We found out Bilal, Shavkat, Kai, and Pantoja. They're reporting that it's going to be Umar Nurmagomedov versus Song Yadong. Now, I did say, and it wasn't me being like, oh, I knew first. No, but this is something that I was hearing, but obviously not to the point where I felt like it was at a point to report. My my intel is saying that it's not quite done. Is this something that has been discussed? Yes. Is it something that has been, bandied about? Yes, but not quite done as we speak right this second. Could it get done? Yes. So don't take this clip if it gets done and put it a week later. Has it been discussed? Yes. Is it out there? Yes. Is it a thing? Yes. Is it possible that Umar fights before he fights Merab? Yes. But it's also possible that all those things don't happen. Fluid, developing. It could not happen. Let's see how it all plays out. So I do want to update that. Last night, we posted our very first pound for pound men's and women's pro wrestling rankings over on uncrowned.com. And what a plethora of great content. If you're not on uncrowned.com, you are missing out. An amazing story today from Chuck Mendenhall and James Vick. You must read it. An amazing story today from Pete C. Carroll on Paul Hughes, who returns to action on Saturday against AJ McKee on the PFL pay-per-view. Watch Helwani Vision, 4 p.m. DAZN pay-per-view. We'll be here with all our friends. And also the pound-for-pound rankings. Cody Rhodes, number 1. Liv Morgan, number 1. A lot of people are upset about these rankings. Did get a nice text from Cody here. That's what I was reacting to. So he's accepting the number 1. And it's current rankings, my friends. It's current. It's not the PWI yearly rankings. It's not who's best right now it's what's happening right now, like literally this week in the business. Who's pound for pound? This can fluctuate. Number 10 could be 1 next week. We're actually doing it twice a month, but you get the point. So it's all based on what's happening on TV right now and in the business. So please read the fine print. All right, very, very important. All right, so we got that out of the way. Go check it out. We got the bantamweight update on the way, or out of the way, I should say. Now some quick questions, and we'll call it a day. Remember, first episode of The Crack in this new era, 1 p.m. Eastern. So every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Helwani Show, Friday, Crack, Thursdays, today, Boys in the Back. And then we got Helwani Vision on DAZN pay-per-view. We will be doing a post-show following PFL on Saturday, so around 7:30 Eastern, and it's going to be a reunion of sorts, a 3-Pac reunion. You've been asking for it, you're getting it. Myself, Pizzi, and the man in the hat, Chuck Mendenhall, reacting to everything that went down in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Next weekend, you'll get a UFC post-fight show and watch party. And I do want to correct the record. Every time I talk about Helwani Vision, I'm not putting down watch parties. All right, GC, I heard you say that. I'm just trying to explain that on this particular entity, you can watch the pay-per-view with us as opposed to a traditional watch party where you're just watching the people watching the event. That's all.
It's tough.
Yeah. I just want to, I'm listening. And I feel like records need to be corrected. El Jose, Nate X, William 1981, Mike TV. It's crazy how its stuff sounds so clear in my ear that I don't know if it's actually him saying it or the drop.
That's what I've been noticing too. I hope these people don't think I'm saying it every single time.
It's very good.
It's so good.
It's tough.
Do we remember what you were referring to? Like what you were talking about?
We were talking about like how you take your Philly cheesesteaks and like the differential thing, and now it's been turned into this like emotional moment. Like when people clip off the video, my face does look like very emotional and very sad, and like I'm just like, it's tough. I think I was completely zoned out because of how dumb the conversation was. But yeah, it was about food or something.
I love it. Anyway, Mike TV, Tom Thumb, William 1981, Nate X, El Jose, all gave us super chats welcoming us back to YouTube and back to this channel. Thank you very much. Now, Aquiles Jr. said, Ariel singing that KSI song is almost as annoying as New York Rick's hot takes. Could you believe that? Yesterday I was singing it to my kids, and this morning, I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows.
Achilles Jr.
Someone to it from dun bros. Have you guys listened to it?
No, come on.
From the
Absolutely
pen to
not.
the ring to the king.
I will say, now your rendition of it has started to seek in because you sing it so much. Also, get this Achilles Jr. guy out of here. Send him back to the old spot. We don't need him over here.
Jason Carney asks if there's any fight news on Jessica Rose Clark. That one I may have answered yesterday.
I think you did, yeah.
And there isn't. Tech gave 20 quid, which is British pounds, about $25, to get to get Boys in the Back a beer. He would like you guys to take that $25 and get a beer after the show.
That's incredible.
That's something that I should also talk about when it comes to Yahoo snacks.
Yes.
I think we might have covered this. We have the 2 beers on tap.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was just going to mention
that. And
Yeah,
they're festive for October. Oktoberfest and a pumpkin one.
Pumpkin and the
great.
Oktoberfest.
Can I just say we had a nice little toast yesterday?
We did.
We did.
Do we have the footage of Rick?
You had the mini.
We do.
You had the mini cup. It was like 90% foam. You're like, cheers, guys.
Listen, I was just taking a little shooter. Okay, I'm not a big
Shooter
drinker.
of beer.
I'm driving home. Although today, no car because of all the stuff going on. My kids are off from school. I had to take an Uber in. God
wow.
forbid. Yeah, it was.
You got God forbid.
Listen, it is tough. You know, it is tough not having.
It's tough. It's certainly tough.
So we can partake, but we do have a Papa Shot in the middle of the office here, and GC goes up there. He gets an 85, I believe. No, I think you got a 53, right?
A jacket and a backpack and drops an 85.
Yeah, Rick.
And it
Sorry, you were
broke
out
that
there.
record.
You got a 53, right?
I got a 53. I thought that was going to stand the test of time.
I thought that was fantastic. Then all of a sudden, Rick rolls in, and he gets an 85 with a jacket and a backpack, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I mean, I was literally thinking like there was a Francis Ngannou voice in my head, and I was like,
Frank.
There was,
Wow,
there
we're
was
looking
a
for
I was watching
Francis
what's going on
Ngannou
with
voice
this
in
place.
my head.
What the?
I was watching Rick go like
What the
this.
fuck is that?
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Yeah.
I'm a machine, bro. I mean,
And then you come back, GC, and you try again, and then Rick freaking slams dunk on all this. We have the footage.
we have the footage.
Let's see it. I want to see this. This is amazing stuff. No audio. Just let's see the footage. Let's just react. I mean, look at the form. The form is absurd. Because so I'm on the screen right now because I'm showing that I got in late. He just did it. But look at that. Double-handed.
Can we talk
one
about he's
feeds the
halfway
other.
down the court?
Is that
No,
illegal?
no.
So
I keep
there's
seeing
a
everyone
lot of
bring up this-
controversy.
this
Yeah, but-
illegality when it comes up to the way he's shooting.
It's because of I think what people are not understanding. This is a very small one. This is a very small Papa Shot.
You're very close.
It's not
You're-
regulation
You're
size.
very close.
You are
the
all
way you're
welcome.
just hunched over, just chucking them in.
You are all welcome to take the same stance I've taken.
You're
I
like a
encourage
machine.
you.
I have to be
I
honest.
actually did. I got my highest score yet, 69. Shout out. Mine just never break that one. But your form is impeccable, and it benefited me.
Yeah.
By the way, my point is, I mean, look at this. Incredible.
scenes.
My point is, even if you are leaning over, it's absurd to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to do it. I got, I think, 50, and my arms were dead tired. I had just done like 50 push-ups because that's what I do before. So I was, understandably tired, but still very, very impressive.
D&B Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I've been getting the reps at old DMB, so shout out to them. If they wanna sponsor your boy, like we can bring people in here. I'll face off with them. They'll never win. I'll eat their bones and send them and spit them out and send them back. But this is my thing. There's two things in this world that I'm very confident in. There's a lot of things, but two the most. Number one, Papa Shot.
Yes.
Number two, Connect 4.
Wow.
classic.
As to steal a line from Kayla Harrison, unfuckwithable.
Wow.
These two things.
Okay.
So I welcome all comers.
We might have to test this. Rarely even asks if the boys and myself believe in Joe Hendry. I'm going to guess that you guys don't know who Joe Hendry is.
Never heard of him. No.
Who, me?
Sorry.
He's become a cult-like favorite in the wrestling scene. He's got a great gimmick, and believe in Joe Hendry is a thing. He's very fun. I'm a fan. Let's see how far he goes. People are into it. Reza asks if we will see Conor McGregor fighting in Q1 next year, maybe in Los Angeles, as was rumored on Reddit. I don't think he fights on that card. The latest that I'm hearing is Islam versus Arman on that card, and I don't think they put Conor on a card like that. So perhaps later on in 2025. Devil Eggs asked, why is the UFC allowing John Jones to potentially duck Big Tom and quit versus how they acted when GSP did the same exact thing after beating Bisping for the middleweight title? Well, you'll recall he beat Bisping and then got sick and said, I need to go. He didn't say he was going to do it beforehand, and I do believe that John Jones is somewhat trolling us when saying, I might leave. One thing UFC hates is someone retiring as champion. They will hold it against you. They don't like it. It creates chaos. It creates a vacant title. And so I would like to think and have a feeling they have talked to John about his plans and have expressed the desire to not leave them high and dry. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this has been discussed. Now, ultimately, can he do what he wants? Of course. There's no gun to his head. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But I don't think John. It has built up too much. I don't think he walks away before that fight, if it all comes together.
Pereira versus John Jones.
And that would be something too. Let's do it. Allegiant Stadium after the Aspinall fight. If it all goes his way, let's do it. Matt Borgenson said, it is blatantly obvious to most people and commentators that Ben Whitaker quit. Look, people get hurt. Crazy things happen. He was seen with his ankle taped up in the airport. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's got tremendous skill. Don't forget, this is a silver medalist at the Olympic Games. He's not some schmuck. He's not some jabroni. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's see how he responds. It was a weird scene. You don't know what could happen. I mean, Daniel Cormier said he once sneezed and blew out his back. Crazy things happen.
Why does everybody want to see his downfall so much? It seems like
man.
everybody
when you're
hates
flashy,
him.
When you're I don't know.
But he's flashy, but he's not like an asshole. You know what I mean?
He's
like,
actually very nice and
like
pleasant.
A sweet, nice man. Like MVP is flashy. I guess actually MVP. A lot of people root for his downfall. So I guess I get it.
He doesn't get the same vitriol from the UK fans. I feel like the UK fans for some reason are like, no, you're too much.
I don't understand it. He seems like what you'd want, right? He's an entertainer. I get like you would potentially limit what his ceiling is and say like maybe he's not going to be world champ. But like, why do they hate him? It seems like everybody hates him.
There's a weird thing with the cocky guys in the UK. We talked about it a little bit with Ade, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's like you can't be too cocky. And ultimately, like the last couple fights haven't been tremendous. So if you're cocky,
but that's not a reason to like hate on the guy and he quit and this and that. Like, I don't know. It just seems like he gets an outsized amount of hate, not commensurate with kind of.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all.
It's weird.
Michael Madden asked about a theoretical concept of a fighter booking fights every time he has a court date to postpone the court date. Floyd was kind of accused of doing something like this. And I don't think the court really cared, if you guys remember. So how about this? How about don't get to the point where the court date is a thing in your life and you avoid that? That would be good. I have to crack my jaw. Can you go to the other guys for a second?
No, go ahead, man. Crack
This
it.
is what people tune in for.
How about that?
That was good.
That boys
It's
in
all
the
right.
back,
We got screenshots. We got screenshots back here. That'll be a good reaction one. That'll actually be great for a thumbnail.
Yeah,
one
you know
day.
what? I'm gonna send
A
that to
nice
our
just-
designer right after the show. Shout out Oven.
It almost looks like you unhinge, like a snake or something.
Jake from Windy City, Beelzebub, AW for life, AEW that is. Jason and Freddie and many more in the chat asked if we are doing memberships on this channel. In fact, I do believe we very recently got the green light. We are. This is happening. And they're going to be much better than the previous ones. There's going to be so much more than just badges and emojis. I'm telling you, we're really going to give this channel the TLC that I'm not saying it was missing before. We've evolved from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, but there's a lot more to come as far as memberships are concerned very, very soon. Perhaps, dare I say, as soon as next week. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. Hayden, as an arrow, wants to see if Dustin Poirier's BMF 4-man tournament could happen in Lafayette. He asks, why can't that happen when Invicta do women fighting 3 times in one night? It can. UFC just doesn't want to do it.
There's also limitations on the format of the fights, which is another thing. You can't do.
Sure. Yep. You're right.
There's a limited number of rounds, and so that's why promotions are limited in how they can do it. You would not get three 5-minute rounds per each fight if you did it.
What would you get?
I think it's you could do like 3 3s or 2 5s or something like that. I forget what the limitation is, but you cannot. There is a certain number of total minutes / rounds that you can fight, and so that's why one night tournaments are hard to do in the capacity that we expect 3 5s.
There's no real upside right now for the UFC to do it. They're so mainstream. there's concerns about, health and safety and all that stuff. There's no real upside. It was from a different era in their history, a totally different era. And they don't have to do it. Others perhaps need to do it as a gimmick to get noticed, which is fine. And there are fighters who want to do it. Remember, there was once a time PFL was doing it a couple of years ago. And they've moved away from that as well. They would do like the semifinals, which is crazy that the last step before the $1 million was that. So yes, Invicta have done it, but UFC won't do it. Now, will they do a sort of unofficial tournament, if you will? They really don't like branding things as tournaments, but you could kind of see sometimes that it's an unofficial tournament. Sure, I just don't know if the chips will fall to where they will do something like that.
The other problem is a potential disappointment, right? Like if somebody gets injured and a winner gets injured in one of the first bouts, or both winners get injured in the first bouts, now you have the fights between either a winner and a replacement or two replacements, and it's just like nobody gets what they want. The one night is better in our minds. Like we've built it up as this thing that from the old era we would love, but it's actually not as good in execution. We really want to like dial in and make sure we're getting the best fights.
Agent P asks if I'm going to interview pro wrestlers from WWE or AEW, or is there another show where wrestlers will be featured? He is sending us love from India. And I do believe, by the way, yesterday, because of the time difference, was a holiday in Sri Lanka. We have a member of our team who is residing in Sri Lanka. And so I wanted to send good wishes to all our friends in Sri Lanka. Of course, we're going to have wrestlers on, and there was some talk of perhaps having one on next week. Initially, I want to show you all this is the same old show. People were saying, I missed the MMA. It's the exact same show with the same people back there and more, same trinkets, same format, same everything. So yes, we will have the wrestlers on from time to time when it's pertinent. When they're in town, the in-studio ones I like a lot. Have no fear. But there is a plan down the road, maybe in 6 or so months, where we have the AH show, Boys in the Back as well. There's a MMA specific show in the Crack. We have a boxing specific show, Ariel and Ade, that premieres next Tuesday. That is this coming Tuesday, I should say, October 22nd. That show will premiere on DAZN, their app.com. The audio of that show will be on our one and only podcast feed. That's where you can also get the Boys in the Back and the Crack tomorrow. And this show, of course, and all the other stuff that we're doing, the Ariel Helwani Show feed. And down the line, I have a desire to have a wrestling-only show, not necessarily hosted by me. Lord knows you hear enough of me and from me. And so we will get to that. That's kind of another, that's a I would say, perhaps a day 3 project, if you will. If you guys get what I'm saying.
Picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah. Chama. Clau says that he saw GC in his tux on the train and was afraid to say hi this morning. Now, is Clau lying to us? Because if you were not wearing a tux, that was not you. It was another guy who looks like you, perhaps Slava Claus or something like that, or Guram. Were you wearing the tux on the train?
Yeah, it's confirmed on the Boys in the Back. Yeah, so he did see me. And
wow.
I was too scared to come up, I guess.
Wow.
Just said, hey.
What train? What train?
I'm not going to specify.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't need that heat on me.
Fair enough. Wow, you're getting mysterious on us as well.
Welcome to
mysterious. Daily commute.
No, fair.
Do we need you want my address as well? ID, Social Security? What else do you want, man?
It's fair. Last but not least, Novum asks what my take was on the highly debated Nina Drama versus MMA Guru Flame War last week. I don't know exactly what a flame war is. I did see some tweets, actually, courtesy of some of our friends. And honestly, my take on it is this. I actually think that, I have said this before, it's not just me now. I think that Nina Drama provides a great service to the MMA community. Not everyone has to do interviews like I do them or like anyone else does them. Actually, what I always say to people who want to get into combat sports journalism is be different. Look at what everyone else is doing and be different. Do something different. Have a different voice, have a different angle, have a different way of doing interviews, have a different way of getting things out of the fighters. You don't always have to get the nitty-gritty. You can have fun with them and stuff like that. There's different ways of doing content or journalism, whatever you want to call it. And so I actually think that she was smart in that she surveyed the landscape and said, oh, there's a path here. And of course, fighters are great subjects to have in a seat or in a spot like that, because they're very open to selling themselves, to promoting themselves, to having fun, to playing ball, if you will, as opposed to a superstar in the NFL or NBA who's a part of a system and doesn't necessarily have to do that because he's not getting paid based on ratings or pay-per-view or things like that. So it makes a lot of sense. I think that it's a great idea, and the content is obviously very popular. Now, on the flip side of things, you have my good friend MMA Guru, and I can confirm I was in fact in the chat yesterday, and it was a great time, and I got a great welcome. It was a nice pop that I received. I have also said that he provides a service and a voice to fans as well, and everyone is able to pick and choose what they want. There's enough out there, and there's a litany of other people who are grinding away and putting out content and doing their thing. Not everyone has to like everything. Lord knows I don't like everything. Lord knows I don't watch or consume everything. But if you're able to break through and be consistent and put out a different, product than X, Y, and Z, you're going to be successful. And that's what you're seeing between both of them. I don't know exactly what the beef is here between the two of them, but I would say there's room for everyone. There's opportunities for everyone. There's opportunities to be different and to build your own fan base, and God bless. I try to come from a place of, journalism and interviews and being relatively positive and things like that. Other people may have different approaches to doing it, and other people don't really care about journalism in a traditional sense, and doing things differently on the internet. Content is all fair game. It's all good if the subjects want to partake. So I would say to everyone, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Get together. It's a lot more fun if you're on good terms. If people need to catch strays, they need to catch strays. That's just the way it is. Figurative ones, of course. I did extend the olive branch to my old friend Ali Abdelaziz, and he shot it back in my face. He shot it back in my face as he was once again playing his favorite role of house manager and kissing Dana White's tuchus, and that's okay. And that's okay. He did, I do believe, threaten to slap all of us if he ever saw us in person. Did you guys see that?
No.
Okay, good. Don't see it.
Okay.
But I got your back. I just want to let you know if push comes to shove. I mean, hopefully I'm not there if you do see him, because I don't want to get slapped. I mean, who does?
Yeah, I don't want to get slapped either.
Yeah, but
Who, me?
Just thought, in the spirit of extending olive branches, it wasn't very nice. It wasn't very kind, I thought. But the offer still stands, by the way. The offer still stands. All right, I think that's it. What do you guys think? Were there any other questions?
I mean, yesterday they were over here saying, it's too much content. How am I going to get all this content? We shove in, we're just going to interview
one more
heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. No big deal.
One more, right?
Deal.
NBD.
I don't think as of right now we are planning to be back here tomorrow.
As of right now.
No, there are no plans to be back here tomorrow. We will not be back here tomorrow.
What if we get a call from John Jones?
God bless him. Have a good Friday, John.
What if we get a call from Jamal Anderson?
Hey, man, we will be here on Monday.
I was thinking of someone that's near dear to your heart.
I would say, well, Jamal, why are you calling me? Didn't you just go to jail for cocaine possession or something?
Is that true?
At one point, he was sniffing cocaine off of toilet seats in Atlanta.
Dirty Bird?
Yeah.
Damn.
Shout out to him. Yeah, 98, great year.
Apparently, very dirty bird.
Listen, man, to each their own.
Yeah, amen. We will be back, though, on Saturday.
We will be here on Saturday.
Yes.
We will be here on Saturday.
Wait, what's this about Saturday?
Yeah, no. Some of us will be back on Saturday. Some won't.
Yeah, we're not gonna,
Jordan likes to take Saturdays off.
Oh, listen, I heard this. I was like, wow, new guy.
Saturday, he's just like, I can't make it.
Wow, new
Jordan
guy.
is my new brother, and he needs to take Saturdays off.
Frank, I heard you guys were beefing, so I'm surprised to.
I'm trying to clear the record.
Oh, okay.
J-Dog and I we're tight.
Oh, J-Dog.
On air, Jordan.
Oh,
doesn't work on the Sabbath. All right. But I can tell you this. I can tell you the lineup. We will be watching the AJ McKee, Paul Hughes fight with Tyron Woodley. Again, it's going to be box, feed here. Okay, it's going to be all in one spot, but only on DAZN pay-per-view. We'll be watching the Johnny Eblin fight against Fabian Edwards with Chael P. We'll be watching the swing bout with Tim Welch. We'll be watching the Chris Cyborg Larissa Pacheco fight with Megan Anderson, and Jake Paul will be stopping by. Perhaps we can tell him about what Alex said. He'll be stopping by for the main event. He was there and sat right between Renan Ferreira and Francis Ngannou, did a face-to-face with them, so that seemed apropos. So go on to Zone, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here with you, and then we'll have a post-show on this YouTube channel right afterwards. 3PAC reuniting in the new era, the uncrowned era, to talk about Battle of the Giants. Tomorrow, again, 1 p.m. Eastern, The Crack. Dan Hardy, Paul Hughes joining Pizza Carol. So stay tuned for that. Please do continue to give us a thumbs up in the chat. Yeah, thumbs up in the chat. Give us a sub. Give us a notification. Hit the bell. Give us a follow on Spotify, a sub on Pod. All those things count. They all matter. Comment, rate, review. We're seeing it. We're feeling it. And the drive, Ant has thrown it out there. He wants 250,000 subs on this channel by Christmas. Do you think we reach that point? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
We're at 187.
I think we reach it by Thanksgiving.
Damn, dog. Now you're
Canadian Thanksgiving?
I was actually, as I was saying the number, I was like, Ariel, don't say the number. Don't put it out there. But you know what?
It's tough.
Wait, was that live or not?
Yes, it was live.
Wow.
It's tough.
Oh, you mean is he saying it?
Yeah.
Live? No,
he
it was
say-
a drop.
Oh,
It was a
God,
drop.
it sounds so. The drive to 25. I can't get the drive to 250 doesn't sound. The drive to 25 is alive. Let's go, guys. What do we got? A little over 2 months? Can we get to 250? What do you think?
Yes.
I think we're gonna
Believe,
smoke it.
achieve,
Conceive.
conceive. Conceive, believe, achieve.
That is it. Or something like that. Achieve, conceive, believe, achieve. Yep, that's it. Frank, you get my music. Music, which I heard, by the way, on The Boys in the
Yeah, I
Back.
think
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
our
you.
music now.
Yeah.
man.
Called for that. You,
Actually, you're using
it's
the
crazy.
Boys in the Back music now.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I offer it up, and then I get shat on.
no, there was no shitting. There
It's
was no
so
shitting.
yours. That's the thing.
Oh,
Hey,
well,
Ariel, do me
yeah.
a favor.
Yeah.
Who was the yellow guy on the bottle of water you were just drinking?
That is a anime character.
You know this.
Of course.
Yeah.
Pikachu. That's,
Oh, right.
I mean, that's the one.
Why do you have a Pikachu bottle?
Any input
kid.
on who the man in the chair is?
The man in the chair. What do you mean? You guys were talking about this.
Yeah, I guess if you.
Oh, yes, of course I know the man in the chair. You're talking about the video of someone who sat down. I'll tell you who that guy was. That guy was an instrumental part of making this whole operation happen. Now, I'm not going to say his name. He doesn't need that. But what happened there, if you all want to know, everyone thinks that there's always like some great mystery. It's like the Poirier video on my
you're
phone.
killing the kayfabe right now. The man in the chair is
The
becoming a
Poirier
character.
video. No, it was
With you in the
It was the
future.
Poirier video on his phone, right?
Yes, but I'm just
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about everyone. I get that
Saw the
question.
nude
Yeah.
over his
What was
shoulder.
on his phone? It was nothing. It's an edited video. In any event, someone was helping us, and we went live by mistake. And like I said, we're working out the kinks.
Wow, the great mystery of the man in the chair has been solved just an hour after we built him up.
We're working out the kinks. We're working out the kinks. It's all a process, which we are bringing you along for the ride for. And so that's why we say to you, thumbs up in the chat, yeah. Killing it here. A great Thursday was had. Thanks to the guys for a great show earlier, Boys in the Back. Thanks to Alex Pereira. Thanks to Steak. Thanks to Plinio Cruz. Back on Friday, same time and place. Until then, say peace. We're out of here.